We will work alongside all D.C. police and federal law enforcement to ensure this city is safe. As I always say about President Trump to the troops, he has their back. And my message to the National Guard and federal law enforcement in Washington is we have your back as well.
We don't believe it's legal to use the American military against American citizens on American soil.
There. Why would someone be upset about that? Why would you be angry about more backup, more support, federal support? Why would you be upset about that? From chaos to control, how President Trump is bringing back order to D.C. Now, you should expect for the nation's capital to be safe. You should. But under Democrat control, Democrat mayors like Muriel Bowser, Democrat presidents like Joe Biden, and so on and so forth, they can care less about that. We see this take place all around our nation. Cities run by Democrats, in urban areas. These cities are war zones. And so you shouldn't be surprised when someone like President Trump seeks to bring law and order back into play in the nation's capital, and that's what's taking place. This first video that I want to show you is of Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. You can pull that up. He's getting ready to address how they are calling in the National Guard to bring order. Take a look at this.
At your direction this morning, we've mobilized the D.C. National Guard. It'll be operationalized by the Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, through the D.C. Guard. You will see them flowing into the streets of Washington in the coming week. At your direction as well, sir, there are other units we are prepared to bring in. Other National Guard units, other specialized units. They will be strong, they will be tough, and they will stand with their law enforcement partners. This is nothing new for DOD. As the president noted, at the border, we've got 10,000 troops down there who've been operating in defense cooperation areas, defense zones, where there's zero illegal crossings because of troops on strikers scanning the border. We've been protecting other people's borders for 20 years. It's about time we protect our own. And we're working with ICE and CBP. In Los Angeles, we did the same thing, working with the California National Guard, working with ICE officers. ICE officers deserve to do their job and not be attacked. We will work alongside all D.C. police and federal law enforcement to ensure this city is safe, this city is beautiful. And as I always say about President Trump to the troops, he has their back. And my message to the National Guard and federal law enforcement in Washington is we have your back as well. Be tough, be strong. We're right behind you.
All right, so there you have it. Why would someone be upset about that? Why would you be angry about more backup, more support, federal support? Why would you be upset about that? You would think that someone in the police department, Mayor Bowser and the likes and her ilk, that they would be celebrating this and saying, hey, man, they're getting ready to make our job easier. They're supporting us. The Capitol should be the safest city in the U.S. It should be. But I'm going to get into some of the numbers on how, in recent years, it's just been an infestation of crime and murder, carjackings and looting. Crime is running amok in D.C. And guess what? The people who are committing these crimes the most in D.C., some of you won't like this, it's people that look just like the mayor of D.C., blacks. And so we do need to bring back law, order, and justice. Now, they had that silly mural on the street, Black Lives Matter. But it makes no sense. It's gaslighting. Black Lives Matter, but we're going to look the other way at all of the crime. Black Lives Matter, but we're going to give a slap on the wrist to all of these individuals who are ransacking our neighborhoods. I mean, this is unimaginable. It's disgusting. And so hats off to President Trump and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth for jumping in and doing something about it. Now we're getting ready to hear from the mayor of D.C., and she doesn't like it. She's not happy because someone is in her space and in her business. Take a look at this.
Has threatened. He's been making these threats since last year, and now he's carrying through with them. There's no reason to believe he won't go further What do you say to the president about his threats to bring the military, not just National Guard, the military?
We don't, and I think I speak for all Americans, we don't believe it's legal to use the American military against American citizens on American
right there.
soil.
You can't speak for all Americans. You want to know why? Because millions of people, tens of millions of people to be exact, voted for President Trump to put him in office so that he could bring about law, order, and justice. So you can't speak for all Americans. You're speaking for a growing number of individuals who want to defund the police, who want to leave our borders open, who want to give a slap on the wrist to crime. But at the end of the day, you want to be tough on the individuals who want to bring about order. It makes no sense. You don't speak for all of the Americans, Bowser. You don't. Watch.
I'm not a lawyer, and but I think that's a fairly widely held fact. And so, but we've seen them move, I think, active military into California. So it's a question. We've seen active military on the borders of D.C. some years ago. And we don't believe that our military should be used against American citizens. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
He's been making these threats since last year. And
all right.
That's enough of that.
So these threats are real. I don't believe that we should be using the military against American citizens. We should use the military, law enforcement, whoever we want to against criminals. We want to crack down on looting. We want to crack down on the carjacking that's taking place in D.C. We want to crack down on the homicides. And keep in mind that the same day that President Trump makes this move, that same day in the Capitol, someone gets bang, bang, shot. And it's a homicide that they're having to clean up now. And so, Mayor Bowser, you are missing the point. See, when you spend your time doing things that don't matter, like grandstanding at the pool, pull this video up side by side. All right. This is, I'm getting ready to show you. We can zoom in as much as we possibly can on this one. I'm sorry it's not in landscape, but this is the best video that we have. But this is the mayor who's complaining about President Trump using the military to protect Americans against criminals. That's the point. Protect American citizens against criminals. If the criminals are citizens, protect us. If the criminals are criminal illegal aliens, protect us. That's all that we want. But this is Mayor Bowser jumping in the swimming pool to kick off the summer of 2025, and she's doing it to the legendary go-go music that they play in DC. Take a look at this, and she's going to be jiggling. She's going to be jiggling, y'all. So hey, watch your eyes. Watch your eyes. Take a look at this.
Are we ready?
Yes,
Hey man, I didn't think you was gonna do it. I didn't think you was gonna do it.
Uh-huh.
Y'all ready? Okay, I'm gonna count it down. I'm gonna go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get in the water!
All right.
Get in the water! Yes!
That's right.
Welcome to the summer of 2025!
Go
with the
Bowser.
DC
Go
Department
Bowser.
of Rex!
Go Bowser.
Yes!
Go Bowser. Go Bowser. Go Bowser. Go Bowser. Go Bowser. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Are
fun.
we ready?
That's it right there. That's it.
Hey man, I didn't.
Oh, yes. Come on. Go Bowser. Get in the water. Get in the water. Oh, get in the water. Go. Oh, get in the water. Mayor Bowser, get in the water. Yeah, spend your time in the kiddie pool. Spend your time jumping into 2 feet of water. but make sure you also protect the American citizens in the state capitol. Will you do that? See, listen, man, this is just one big joke. You know, this is President Trump's role. He used authority under the Home Rule Act to federalize the Metropolitan Police Department, deployed the National Guard. This move is lawful and already in effect, and Bowser is calling it unsettling and unprecedented, despite legal precedent for federal intervention. And so President Trump invoked Section 740 of the D.C. Home Rule Act to make temporary control of the D.C. Metropolitan Police. And this is going to be for the next 30 days, deploy the National Guard to address crime and public safety concerns. And so we have to see this for what it is. Washington, D.C., compared to other violent cities, is the story of the day. All right. I understand the mayor jumped in the water. She was celebrating the summer. But listen, you gotta do more than jump in the kiddie pool, Mayor Bowser. You gotta do more than be jiggling up there talking about get in the water. You gotta do more than that, sister. You got to do more than that. You have to keep the city safe. So let me share this with you. The White House says DC's homicide rate is 27.3 per 100,000 residents in 2024. And that's one of the highest in the US. The rate is nearly 6 times higher than New York City. New York City? Yes, New York City. It's higher than cities like Atlanta, Chicago, and Compton. I mean, this should tell you that you should be celebrating this. She should be happy. She should be going back to the pool, talk about get in the water. Oh, get in the water. Oh, President Trump done sit in the National Guard. Hey, he's sitting in the National Guard. Yeah, he's helping us out. Oh, he's helping us out. Oh, because these black folk keep shooting up the neighborhood. Black folk keep shooting up the neighborhood. Black folk keep shooting up the neighborhood. Black folk, hey, black folk. That's what she should be saying. That President Trump is true. He's true to what he says. These folk out here acting crazy, and he's sending in the military to bring order. But no. And get this, DC is claimed to be worse than some dangerous global cities, including Bogota and Mexico City. So DC is far more dangerous than Mexico City, Bogota, Compton, Atlanta. This is bad, real bad. And so local leadership has failed. Lenient criminal code changes, low police staffing, and weak prosecution created this crisis. Bowser opposed tougher measures on crime and now criticizes Trump for stepping in. Federal intervention is justified when city leaders won't protect residents or the nation's capital. It's that easy. Crime dropped a little bit in 2024 to 2025. You know, it happened after outside pressure, not because of Bowser's leadership. So the problem is this lady just needs to go. All right. So what is the Christian view on this? And what is the Christian view on law and order? I want to get to that. And here it is. God is not neutral about crime. He commands rulers to bear the sword against evildoers. That's Romans 13, 1-4. Government's God-given purpose is to protect the innocent and punish those who harm others. That's it. Leaders who fail in this duty are in rebellion against God's design. And so justice is a divine mandate. Not a suggestion, but it's a divine mandate. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people groan. That's Proverbs 29, verse 2. disorder, violence, and corruption cause the people to groan, and it is a moral failure when leaders tolerate it. Order is love for neighbor, not the rejection of your neighbor, or not even the looting or the carjacking and the homicide that people do to their neighbors. You know, that's not love. That's not love. Okay, yeah, you have a need. You need money. You want to hijack somebody. You know what I mean? But yet still, that's not love. That's cruel. That's a crime. It's an injustice. These same people love to talk about the injustice being done to Black people in this nation, wherever that is, but they say nothing about the injustice of this Black on Black crime. It's sad. See, a safe community allows children to play, families to work, and worshipers to gather without fear. Protecting life and property is not just politics, it's an act of love in action. Allowing lawlessness is not compassion. Let me say that again. Allowing lawlessness is not compassion. Scripture warns against calling evil good. Turning a blind eye to crime doesn't show mercy. It abandons victims and emboldens the wicked. Accountability, my friends, is biblical. From the Old Testament laws of restitution to Paul's teaching in the New Testament, God affirms that those who break the law must be penalized and suffer consequences. Forgiveness and grace are offered, but justice is not abandoned. Christians must speak against failed leadership. Ezekiel 33 calls believers to be watchmen, warning the people when danger comes. Silence in the face of lawlessness makes the church complicit. A society without justice invites judgment. Can we get that? A society without justice invites judgment. That's Proverbs 28, verse 5, where it says, evil men do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand it fully. If we want God's blessing on our land, we must stand for truth, order, and the defense of the innocent. So let me share with you some of these crime trends that we have in D.C. In 2023 to 2024. Homicides dropped from 274 in 2023 to 187 in 2024. That's a 32% decrease. Assault with a dangerous weapon fell by 27%. Robberies dropped by 39%. Overall violent crime declined 35%. Burglaries fell by 9%. Carjackings decreased nearly 50% across all wards. Early 2025 shows continued improvement. Violent crime down 40%. Property crime down 14% compared to early 2023. Felony conviction demographics. Let me get into that from 2023 to 2024. The gender, 90% of these people who did these crimes were male, 10% female. Ages, 79% between the age of 18 to 40. Let's get into the race. I said, let's get into the race. 91.5% of the people doing these heinous crimes are Black. 3.4% are white. 5.1% are other or unknown. So why is Mayor Bowser upset with President Trump coming in and assisting in further cleaning up the mess in D.C.? Yes, things are starting to gradually move in the right direction, but anytime that someone is dying, just like yesterday, on the day that he sends in the National Guard, a homicide takes place. I mean, you would think that that wouldn't happen at all. You wouldn't think that. Just as well as you wouldn't think that, that Compton is safer than D.C. and Atlanta is safer than D.C. and Mexico City is safer than D.C. Juvenile crime highlights. Since mid-2023, there have been 333 carjacking arrests. I mean, 333. I mean, just think of the number of times that people are going, you know, back to the parking deck or to where they parked at downtown and they come back and the car is gone. They were able to arrest people 333 times. Think about the number of times they didn't arrest a person. I mean, that's just violent. You know, that means that people are in broad daylight just rolling up and just stealing people's cars. I mean, that means that city is under heavy surveillance. You're being watched. You're being stalked. People are walking behind you. Just crime running amok. It's natural, and it's acceptable. All under failed leadership. 56% of suspects were minors, mostly aged 15 to 16. Some as young as 12. On average, they were 15 to 16. Some as young as 12. Kids out there committing these crimes. Homicides and carjackings. Theft. Grand theft auto. Sad. 72% of carjackings took place with firearms. Someone walking up to another individual, putting a gun to their head or pointing it at their chest and saying, hey, stop, give me your car, run it. I want your car, I want your wallet, I want your Rolex, I want your bracelet, I want your ring, I want your shoes, I want your purse, I want everything. Run it, give it up. 72% of these jackings took place with firearms. And you mean to tell me that Mayor Bowser is upset because President Trump jumped in to help support her, essentially, and to protect American citizens? I mean, this is sad. And finally, I have this video of Scott Jennings. So in this video, Scott Jennings addresses the fact that D.C. is not a safe place. Take a look at this.
Difference between D.C. and any other city in America. You know, a few months ago, I was in Union Station and saw a body hit the floor at the bottom of the escalator in Union Station because there was a murder right in front of me. Up on the second floor, I was going to get a tie, and I heard the shots and saw the body hit the floor. So I've been listening all day long to people trying to make some argument that Washington, D.C. is a safe place. It's not a safe place. And we can argue about statistics and numbers. There's a police commander right now on suspension because there's some allegation that the statistics have been altered. But we can argue about that all day long. Nobody.
See, did you hear that? Did you hear that? You know, I didn't want to get into this, but I'll do it. I'll do it. As you hear about the crime decreasing and dropping, and the jackings are down a little bit, and the homicides are down a little bit, there's rumor there's a person who's been terminated because they were fudging the numbers. Fudging the numbers to portray an image that's not true. Why? Because they knew that they had to be held, you know, to the standard of what's right and justice. And so therefore, their way of getting out and skirting the system is to fudge the numbers. Say what you will or may. Trump is right. He made the right choice. Take a look.
In their right mind, who lives there or visits there on a regular basis, would tell you that Washington, D.C. is safe, and everybody who goes there knows it, and everybody who goes there knows
I don't know
it.
I don't know that anybody's saying that Washington, D.C. is a panacea of no crime.
Have you been to CVS?
Hold on.
It's bad.
Hey, hold on a second. I lived in D.C. for a long time, okay? It's not a panacea of no crime. But I think the point made by Tara, and we have the data, the most dangerous places in the United States, D.C. is not in the top 10 list.
Have you ever seen a body drop in a
number
Louisville?
one,
because they have a higher murder rate than Washington, D.C. does.
The number one place
in your
is
home
Memphis,
state.
Tennessee. So I guess the point is, there are a lot of places actually in this country that are very dangerous, maybe more dangerous than DC.
I mean, in terms of homicide rates, it was fourth highest last year. But
we're
talking about now.
Lots of places that are dangerous.
And so you get the point. Listen, the nation's capital should be the safest city in the U.S. It should be the nation's capital. These people can come up with all their faux statistics. You know, the gerrymandering of statistics. Let's talk about that since everyone wants to talk about gerrymandering today. Yeah, these faux stats, this fake news, and this fake outrage. They're mad because Trump is doing something about it, and they don't like it. Let me know what you think below in the comment section. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I weak or am I strong? God bless you, my friends, and God bless America. Do me a big favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care.